Hi, good evening. This is Sheena, your Caribbean College Planner and Student Advisor at the Student Center, and we're here for another Wednesday webinar. Last month, we were here with Murdoch talking about nursing, and we're back for the month of May again, and this time we're going to talk about studying at Murdoch and playing some cricket. So this is really ideal for persons that, whether you're coming from secondary school and you're looking to do a bachelor's degree, or whether you are currently in university doing your bachelor's and you're looking to do a master's, it doesn't matter. This is for you. So there are opportunities for you to study and play cricket. And to help explain more of what Murdoch has to offer, we have Daniel Mather. He would have been with me last month talking about nursing. He's here again with me. And for those of you who are in Barbados, um, Daniel will be here next week. Thursday, we're having a special session in Barbados in person at the Lloyd Erskine Stanley First Center at 6 p.m., where you can come and meet him in person, discuss more about opportunities, whether to play cricket, study, pursue your bachelor's, or do your master's. And for those who are interested in doctoral studies, there's something for you as well. So you have all options to explore. And if you want to do a little bit of research before he comes, feel free to utilize the Student Center's CutFest website, www.cutfestinternational.com, and take a look at Murdoch's dedicated page on there, giving you more insight on what's available to you. So Daniel, thanks for joining me this evening. Talk to us about studying at Murdoch and playing some cricket. If you are joining us on social media, good evening. Those in the Zoom, if you have any questions you want to field to Daniel, please feel free to send us via the chat or the Q&A option. Over to you, Daniel. Thanks for joining me.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Sheena, and good day, everyone. Greetings from Perth, Western Australia, where it is 6:30 in the morning. So it is a great way to start the day. So I'm going to share my screen to start the presentation. So bear with me while I do that. Okay, so we're hoping that that's now visible on the screen. Sheena will give me a thumbs up if she can see it. All right. So everyone, welcome to this evening's session. It's wonderful to have you all here and to be able to talk to you a little bit about Murdoch University and the opportunity to play some cricket here in Australia. Before I get started on the presentation, here at Murdoch University, we'd like to start off with an acknowledgement of country. So I am coming to you today from the lands of the Whadjuk and the Pinjarra Noongar people, who are the traditional landowners of the land upon which Murdoch University sits here in Perth, Western Australia. So one of the things that Murdoch University likes to recognise is that the land upon where we teach today has, and for many thousands of years, been a place of learning for the Indigenous population of Western Australia. So although Murdoch University is 50 years old, which in some cases is old, in some cases is not so old, the land has always been a place of learning. So what we are doing by acknowledging, issuing acknowledgement of country is recognising the traditional landowners, but also recognising their enduring tradition of teaching upon the lands on which Murdoch University now sits. So what I'm hoping that you will do by listening to this particular acknowledgement of country is take away the value that the university places in the history of teaching, not just at the university, but the longer history of teaching that is associated with our Indigenous population, and take advantage of that tradition. Come and be a part of that learning history, not just from the Murdoch University perspective, but becoming part of a long line of learners, teachers, and studiers on the land upon which the university sits. So if that is of interest to you, I hope that gives you some sort of a little bit of a background into why Murdoch University is particularly proud of the location where we currently sit and teach. And then I like to start off talking a little bit about where we are in the world, because for some people, you may have heard of Perth, but many other people, it's not always the most common location to think about when you are considering Australia. So Perth is on the west coast of Australia, and you can see on the map on the screen in front of you where we are located and some of the connections to the places around the world that you can get to directly from Perth. So most people will have heard of places like Sydney, Melbourne, or even Brisbane here in Australia. But what Perth really does is sells itself as a gateway to, to Australia more broadly. The map illustrates how we connect to various places around the world, but it also really emphasizes the fact that we are we are in the same time zone as 60% of the world's population. So a fun fact I like to share with people is that if you were to fly anywhere from Perth within 8 hours, you can reach countries as diverse as India, Thailand, China, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Taiwan, along with New Zealand. So there are a variety of locations that you can reach easily and accessibly from Perth. The same is not true when you're traveling from places like Sydney or Melbourne. It's a lot further away and a lot less accessible to all of those countries. So if you want to come to Australia and explore the world, Perth offers a great jumping off point for you to be able to do that. And some of the images of what Perth actually looks like are up here on the screen in front of you. So our city is built on the Swan River, named after the black swans that occupy the river through which most of the water traffic in the city flows. So our city itself is based about 25 minutes from the coastline. The river runs all the way from the coast through the port city of Fremantle, which Sheena has visited, all the way through to the main Perth city centre, which you can see on the screen here. So the city itself and the surrounding suburbs in which Murdoch University sits are part of a safe, multicultural and vibrant city. So Perth and Australia as a whole is a destination for many, many students from around the world, but it's also a migrant destination. So nobody who lives here in Australia is actually from Australia. Everyone at some point in their past has migrated to Australia, unless you are an Indigenous Australian. So what that means is that no matter where you are coming from, you're part of a long tradition of migrants and people who are moving to Australia for various purposes. Now, the city of Perth itself has a population approximately 35% of which were born overseas. So 1 in 3 people that you meet in Perth are not necessarily originally born in Perth, which is great. It offers that diverse multicultural feel and also a place to build connections. It's not just about where you were from, what you were studying, who you know. It's about what kind of influence and excitement can you bring that enlivens the Perth culture. So we're a big fan of bringing people in from different locations around the world to add value to the diversity that already exists within the city. And then Perth itself and Australia in general is known for its outdoors lifestyle. So you can see up here on the screen some of the elements that I think make Perth and Western Australia a great choice for people who enjoy an outdoor lifestyle. We'll talk about playing cricket a little bit later, and that does lean into what our outdoors lifestyle does offer. But these images kind of showcase all of the different things that you can actually do while you are living and studying in Perth. And then why do you think, one of the reasons we like to put this slide up is why we think you should choose Murdoch. Murdoch University is a little bit different, but we're proud of how we are different. Universities in general are not necessarily always cookie cutter, but there is a challenge in separating how they are different from one another. So Murdoch University was established in the mid-1970s with a focus on the environment, agriculture, conservation, and sustainability. All of these topics were built out from our veterinary school, which is the only one in Western Australia. But at that time in the 1970s, all of those items that I've mentioned, so the environment, agriculture, conservation, sustainability, were considered very hippie, very left-leaning thoughts, not part of the traditional orthodoxy that universities were built around. So Murdoch embraced that point of difference. What we were offering was the opportunity to choose a university that was a little bit different, that offered non-traditional teaching areas. And that particular difference has played all the way through the last 50 years of our life. So we're very proud of the fact that we started off a little bit differently, but now 50 years later, those differences have become far more mainstream. Students are actively looking for universities that support a sustainability focus, that support evidence of conservation in their teaching. And Murdoch University can point all the way back to our inception and say that, hey, we've been here doing this for our entire life. We're not someone who's just decided it's cool now, we should be teaching this. This is part of our DNA. And so one of the reasons why we think you should choose Murdoch is that we are a little different. We're proud of that difference, and we like to welcome students in who want to embrace being a little bit different. Those differences are highlighted in our strategic themes, which you can see up here on the screen. So I mentioned just previously about the focus on sustainability. So the university really does pride itself on this, and it is evidenced by being right at the top of what every single person at the university is focused on. So we're not only looking at how we can include sustainability into our teaching and our research practices, we're also looking at how we can include sustainability into everyday life on our campus. So one of our most recent buildings that we've had constructed on the campus is an example of our focus on sustainability. So the Buller Catagen building on our campus is our latest addition to the facilities available to students. It's a fully teaching-focused building, 180 meters long, and it's a mass timber engineered building. So all of the timber that was sourced for the building itself was sourced from within Australia, if not locally within Western Australia. Along the roof of the building itself are solar panels that provide electricity that powers the building. The building also collects rainwater that comes down during our wet season and stores that in underground soak wells that can be then reused for our reused in the toilet system on the campus itself. So we're trying to showcase how the university's focus on sustainability is evidenced in a physical way. The other element that we're particularly proud of is our focus on equity, diversity, and inclusion. And this has become a hot topic around the world. Murdoch University, through its focus on being a little bit different, welcomes students, irrespective of race, religion, background, onto our campus. We want to be a place of inclusion, and we want students to feel comfortable being who they are whilst they're with us as part of their degree study. It's an important element in today's society to recognise that not only is and are people different, coming from different backgrounds, having different cultures, having different religious beliefs, but we also need to recognise that a university setting can be a place for learning, not only about what you are studying, but about the other people who are studying alongside you. And then I wanted now just to run through some images of our campus life, some of the different things that you can actually take advantage of whilst you are studying with us here at Murdoch University. So our campus is either the first or second largest campus footprint in Australia. So what I mean by footprint is the land area that is available to students when they are studying on our campus. As I mentioned at the start of our presentation, the university is built around our veterinary school, and we're the only veterinary school in Australia that has a working animal farm and teaching hospital physically located on our campus. So if you choose to go and wander around on our campus, you can see both large animals, so horse, cattle, and sheep, wandering around, not freely. They are in paddocks, but they are on our campus. So you can walk past them and see those every single day. Our campus is also home to some native wetlands, which actually helps with our teaching in the marine biology, environment, and conservation space. Students can get practical, real-world experience almost out the front door of their classroom by wandering onto those wetlands and doing soil and water sampling, checking out the local wildlife, and monitoring those sorts of things. Our campus also has accommodation available, and I'll talk to that a little bit later. But because of the large land size, there are a large amount of green spaces, which are represented in some of these images that you can see on the screen. And that's really, really important. Obviously, the university places a great deal of emphasis on the health, well-being, and safety of our students. So a big part of that is mental health well-being. We want students to be focused on their study whilst they're with us, but we also recognise that every now and again, you do need a break. So having one of the largest campuses in Australia enables us to have a significant amount of green space, which means you can step outside, relax, sit on one of the beanbags or deck chairs that we have in the centre of our campus, or just take a break with a coffee and recenter yourself before you dive back into your study life. On the campus itself, we do pride ourselves on trying to re-engage and continually engage our students, whether they are domestic or international students. So the image on the screen in front of you now is from our Den Activity Centre. So this is really focused on bringing students together. It's not intended to be segregated or anything like that. It's really just an opportunity for people to come together in a single space and undertake activities across a week. The activities run Monday through Friday. Wednesdays are our international specific day. So if you are a student from an international background, you can come into the Den, meet other international students, talk about your background, your experience at Murdoch, what are you looking for, how can you engage more broadly across the university. But you're not just limited to that Wednesday. Come in any day of the week, sit down, hang out, meet people, learn a little bit more about yourself, but also about the other students who are studying with you. And then I mentioned Bulla Catagen earlier, which is the physical representation of our focus on sustainability. And this is what the actual building looks like, at least from the front. As I mentioned, it is 180 meters long. It is mass timber engineered building. So you can see that represented in the photo here. So all of the wood was locally sourced throughout Australia. And so this is the pride of the campus at the moment. It is a primarily teaching building. So there are no office locations here for academic or professional staff. It is designed and dedicated to students. So this would be available to you. There are food resources available here, coffee, small kitchens to wash up or prepare your meals. So it's really designed around encouraging students to spend more time on our campus. And either when you are studying or when you are just hanging out, this building is for you. There are a number of different services that we do offer on our campus to encourage students to remain on campus and really engage with the student lifestyle. So we have our on-campus chiropractic clinic, where you can see both registered practicing chiropractors and also our students who are studying this particular discipline, getting their physical hours up and running. We also have a psychology clinic. So I mentioned the focus on well-being and in particular mental health earlier. So you can access 5 free psychology visits as part of your degree study here at Murdoch University to continue to maintain that mental health focus whilst you are here. Or if you are managing a psychology or a mental health condition before you arrive, our psychologists can continue to work with you on that in that space. And we also offer a free confidential counselling service. So once again, as with the psychology clinic, students can access up to 5 free counselling appointments throughout their degree study with certified counsellors. One thing I didn't mention is that both our psychology and counselling clinics are practicing organisations. So this means that the registered psychologists and counsellors are working with you, but it's also an opportunity for our students who are studying those disciplines, who are in their final years doing their practicum experiences, to get hands-on experience working with real-life patients on the campus itself. So if you're considering studying one of those disciplines, chiropractic, psychology, or counselling, we can offer you that practical experience right here on our campus. I also mentioned the opportunity for you to stay on campus if that's something that you would like to do. So we do offer accommodation. We have around about 850 beds available on our campus. Our campus accommodation is apartment style accommodation. So students will live with other students in an apartment on the campus. Each room in the apartment is single occupancy only, so we don't share rooms. The only thing that you will be sharing in your apartment are the bathrooms, the living area, and the kitchen. The on-campus accommodation has a very vibrant student community. One of the things that they really try and emphasize is bringing students out of their apartments and engaging with the other students who live in the community. So there are all sorts of different activities that are run during the week. Two of the more popular ones are typically free food giveaways. So donuts, ice creams, depending on the time of year, it may be hot chocolate. All of these things are designed to bring people out and engage. So we're not just encouraging you to sit in your room, study, and watch Netflix. We want you to take advantage of the lifestyle that Perth and Australia can actually offer. And then I wanted to talk very briefly about some of the study benefits that accompany you when you are living and studying here in Perth. So under an Australian student visa, you can work part-time during your study. So in Australia, we deem part-time to be a maximum of 24 hours each week. And then you can also work full-time, which we define as 37.5 hours per week outside of our teaching time. So the part-time work can be used to supplement your savings that you're using to afford to study here in Australia, but it's not intended to be able to replace or cover off on the costs of living and studying in Australia. You can also receive discounted public transport rates, and public transport here in Australia is well planned out. Murdoch University itself you're able to navigate around quite easily. Sheena was able to do that when she came and visited. So the university itself is connected to our public transport through a hub. So you can take buses directly from our campus out to places like Fremantle on the coast, or to the main train station near our campus, which can then commute you into the city. So it's relatively easy to navigate around, and it's important that you understand that public transport is safe and reliable here in Australia. You are also able to, after completing your studies, apply for an additional visa that would allow you to remain here in Australia for up to a further 3 years. So if you decide you want to come out and complete a 3-year bachelor degree, at the conclusion of your bachelor degree, you can then apply for a post-study work visa that would allow you to remain in Australia and work full-time for the next 3 years. Obviously, the benefit to you there is you've obviously come to Australia, you've spent some time here living and studying and establishing your life. The post-study work visa enables you to take the skills that you've learned through your degree studies and apply them in a practical sense that also allows you to earn a financial incentive to pay back some of the costs that you have incurred through your study. So it's a really unique feature that Australia can offer. So obviously 3 years of study plus 3 years of post-study work right visa enables you to spend at least 6 years here in Australia. The post-study work rights visa is an option. It's not for everyone. Some people will want to move on, find jobs elsewhere, return home, and that's perfectly fine. But it is a benefit that we are keen to promote. So I have included that here on the slide today. Very briefly, I wanted to touch on some of the different study areas that the university does offer. So whilst we are a mostly comprehensive university, we don't offer everything, and that's not intended to be what Murdoch University is about. What we are keen on teaching is where we have our academic strengths. So I mentioned at the top of the presentation, our focus on agricultural sciences, veterinary medicine, environment, conservation, and sustainability. So all of these areas are have a running theme through each of our teaching disciplines. So even though you may be studying chiropractic science under our allied health area, there will be an element on sustainability. How can you make that discipline more sustainable? If you are studying business, there will be a focus on sustainability in business practice, whether that's in tourism and event management or all the way through to financial management. In our engineering and energy program, our engineering degrees are not your traditional engineering. They're not civil, they're not mechanical. We focus on renewable and sustainable technologies within our engineering program. So you are learning firsthand about how Murdoch University is a thought leader and a teaching discipline leader in those particular fields. Our humanities, arts, and social sciences has a number of areas that focus on the policy side of sustainability, including community development. How do we continue to build that engagement amongst our community areas, pushing people back towards one another rather than separating each other out? And as I mentioned with our accommodation, sitting in your space, watching Netflix, not engaging with who's around you. So this is a really interesting sample of, I guess, the focus that Murdoch University does have on those key study areas. But I would encourage you to come along next week when I'm in Barbados, ask questions about the different degree programs that we offer at both bachelor, master, and doctoral level. Let's talk a little bit about what you would like to study and how Murdoch University may be able to help you achieve those goals. And then the reason we're all here today is to talk a little bit about how cricket and Murdoch University do intersect. So I've mentioned that the outdoors lifestyle here in Australia is a big part of everyday life, and that is very true. And cricket plays a huge role in that. So for 300 days each year, Perth enjoys brilliant blue skies and sunshine. We have a relatively mild Mediterranean climate, so our summers are dry and hot, our winters are mild and cool. So when I say dry and hot, I'm talking anywhere between 36 and 40 degrees at the peak of our summer, and our mild, cool winters are anywhere between 10 to 14 degrees centigrade during the day. So it's the perfect opportunity for you if you want to play some cricket. And Murdoch University has a number of links that I think will be really interesting for you to learn about. So within Australia, cricket is managed by Cricket Australia at the national level, but then each state and territory has its own cricketing body that manages cricket within that particular area. So here in Perth, WA Cricket is the managing, I guess, organisation for cricket in Western Australia. So they oversee all the cricket from the state level all the way down through to grassroots cricket. And Murdoch University has a commercial relationship with WA Cricket, and in particular with the Perth Scorchers, which is our state level T20 competition organisation. So at the pinnacle of our engagement is our link with the Perth Scorchers, and in particular, their Institute of Sport and Business. So this year, Murdoch University and the Scorchers launched a diploma level, so pre-bachelor qualification, that enables students who have an interest in cricket, whether that's playing or working in the administrative side of things, to learn a little bit more about how those two fields intersect. Unfortunately, this particular qualification is not available to international students. However, the university are exploring other options at bachelor and master's level to take advantage of this link with the Institute of Sport and Business that may be coming in the future. So it's an important link that Murdoch University does have, and is one of the reasons why I'm talking to you about it right now, because I want to really impress upon you the value that Murdoch University places on our relationship with WA Cricket and how that may be beneficial to you in the future. In addition to what we are doing with the Scorchers Institute of Sport and Business, we also do have opportunities for students who are studying degree programs at Murdoch University to get work experience with WA Cricket. So not only are we offering the opportunity for students to get a degree program, but for students with an interest in working in sport or working in cricket as an administrator longer term, we can get you opportunities not only to help with coaching and school programs, but casual employment opportunities at the WACA ground, which is the state level home of cricket here in Western Australia. Murdoch University also offers an elite athlete program. So if you are currently playing cricket in the Caribbean at a state or national level, Murdoch University can support you if you would like to move to Australia and play cricket whilst you are studying. So we can offer you connections with WA Cricket to get you placed into the elite athlete program within WA Cricket, but we will also support you with your studies through our elite athlete program here at Murdoch University. So what that usually means is there's accommodations provided for your study, because obviously we recognize that training and playing at a professional level does have an impact on your ability to come and study at the university. So there will be accommodations around your teaching times. You are also provided with an academic mentor that can talk you through some of the challenges of marrying up your elite athlete professional life with your study life. So that's a really unique opportunity there as well. And finally, for anyone who's interested in doctoral research programs, particularly focused in sports science, we do have a number of academics who focus on sports science at that elite level, including in cricket. So there are a number of facilities on our campus that are designed to support research programs into cricketers. So once again, if you are a cricketer with an interest in research, or you are just someone who enjoys cricket but does have a research interest in that space, we maybe have something there that suits those areas. And then a more recent addition to the Murdoch University, I guess, area of excellence in cricket is the Murdoch Cricket Academy, which launched once again in 2026. So this is a collaboration through the university for students who have an interest in cricket, who are playing cricket at a relatively high level, to come and represent Murdoch University in competitions, both within Western Australia, nationally, and then potentially also internationally. So you can see here up on the screen how and where the Cricket Academy is launching, what the kind of competitions are going to be that you would participate in. So the main one that we are looking for is for students who are interested in competing at the Unisports Nationals T20 cricket event, which in 2026 is being held in Queensland in late July. So this particular Cricket Academy is going to be an annual thing. So each year there will be a call out for students who are currently studying who want to participate in the Cricket Academy. Students can then put their hands up, come along, try out, and if successful, join the Cricket Academy. So it's just another way that Murdoch University is offering students who have an interest in cricket to become a part of not only the Murdoch University community, but the wider community of cricket here in Perth. And then for those of you who are looking for maybe a less competitive cricket opportunity, there are a number of different ways that you can get involved with cricket on the weekends. So WA Premier Cricket is run by WA Cricket, and this is the peak competition for male and female cricketers here in Perth. So we have grades running through from A grade all the way down to first grade all the way down to fourth grade. Apologies, my brain went backwards in time to when I was playing cricket a long time ago. So first grade is the highest competition. It's right below state level cricket. So people playing in first grade cricket, it's going to be extremely competitive. But if that's not your thing, that's perfectly fine. We also do offer women's A and B grade competition as well. So depending on what level of cricket you are coming from in the Caribbean, WA Premier Cricket may be the competition that suits you the best. But for those of you who are just enjoying cricket and want to play on the weekends, we do have the West Australian Suburban Turf Cricket Association. So there are a number of clubs scattered around the Perth metropolitan area that you can join. Matches are typically played on a combination of turf or synthetic wickets, depending on the level of competition. And our local cricket club is the Murdoch University Melville Cricket Club, which is based on our campus. So if you're living and studying on our campus, you can walk to and from your competition every week. And you can enjoy the facilities that are available to those students on our campus. For anyone who is playing or interested in playing cricket at the Premier Cricket level, WA Cricket, through our association with Murdoch University, can help you be placed at a Premier Cricket club. We can talk about those types of opportunities when I'm in Barbados next week. So please do reach out if you are interested in that. There are some specifics that we would need from you about your background in that cricket competition, but we can talk through that. And more importantly, because cricket is so widespread here in Australia, there are many, many different ways to find local cricket clubs here in Perth. I've included a hyperlink on the page that you can see up in front, here on the screen. It's very easy to find local cricket clubs. They are scattered around within the Murdoch area. I did a quick search. I think there were 5 different cricket clubs that popped up, ranging all the way through from everyday local Saturday, Sunday competitions all the way through to Premier Cricket. So there are plenty of opportunities for you to play cricket. Depending on your enthusiasm and need for competition, we can typically find you something that will suit. And then finally, I wanted to wrap up with our scholarship options. So we don't have anything specific for cricket at the moment. However, keep an eye on our scholarship options because this may become something that we do look to emphasize going forward, especially with the connection that I mentioned earlier between WA Cricket and Murdoch University, and in particular, our Perth Scorchers Institute of Sport and Business. So for anyone who wants to come and study here at Murdoch University, we have 2 different scholarships that we can offer. We have our International Welcome Scholarship, which is a 20% reduction on the cost of your study in a bachelor or master's degree for the full duration of your study here at Murdoch University. So if you come to study a 3-year bachelor degree or a 2-year master's degree, we will reduce the tuition costs for your study for the duration of study. So that's each year in a bachelor degree for the 3 years, it's 20% off. Each year in your master's, it's 20% off. There are exclusions, and you can see those up on the screen in front of you. And I am pleased to confirm that students who are thinking about 2027 or 2028 starters are eligible for our 20% reduction. So there is some certainty there. If you start in 2028, you're doing a 3-year bachelor degree, we will honour that 20% reduction for the life of your study. So it's reassuring to know that you can plan ahead with that tuition discount. I'm also pleased to announce that we do have our International Future Scholarship, which is a similar reduction for the duration of study for your tuition, but it is for a group of selected bachelor or master's degrees for anyone starting in the 2027 calendar year. The benefit with this particular scholarship is that it offers an additional 5%, so a maximum of 25% tuition reduction across the life of your study. And you can see the list of those bachelor and master degrees that are eligible for that 25% reduction if you commence in the 2027 calendar year. So we're really hopeful that students who are thinking about Murdoch as a destination might take advantage of that 25% reduction to commence in 2027. But if not, we always do have the option of our International Welcome Scholarship for students considering 2028 as a starting point. Okay, that wraps up my presentation today. Thank you very much for listening to me talk a little bit about Murdoch University and the opportunities to play cricket. Sheena, do we have any questions that we might want to talk through?
Yes. So thanks for that presentation. Lots of cricket playing opportunities. So thanks for highlighting those. I might ask you to put that screen back up shortly. We have a question coming from Shernal, and she wants to know, does Allied Science include the sport and exercise science bachelor degree?
Yes, it does. So we have, I guess, bachelor and master options within that allied health program. So our Bachelor of Sport and Exercise Science is one option there. Have also recently launched a integrated bachelor master degree program in exercise science, which allows you to study in 4 years a bachelor degree and a master's degree. So you can actually combine those two, completed in 4 years. If you were to do it independently, so do a bachelor and then a master's, it would actually take you 5 years. So you actually gain 1 year of study by looking at doing that combined bachelor master program. The other alternative is if you already have a bachelor degree in exercise science or a related allied health field, you can look at coming in and doing our master's program in high performance sports science, clinical chiropractic. There are a number of different options that are available to you within that space. So it is a really exciting option. Obviously, with the link with WA Cricket, that would make a very sensible degree choice. However, if you are interested in other sports, Murdoch University does have a number of academics who work with our national hockey program, so field hockey, which is based here in Perth, as well as our Australian rules football clubs, and also our Institute of Sport, and in particular swimming.
Sure. Now, I hope that that information was helpful. If you have any follow-up questions, let us know. When it comes to the cricket playing aspect of it, and someone is interested in applying to Murdoch University, what will they do that process after they've applied, or is there a procedure for them to do it alongside applying to Murdoch directly?
Yeah, so there's no official procedure involved. Really, what it would be, I guess, a conversation with yourself, Sheena, with myself, sort of letting us know about your interest in playing cricket. Then we can start talking through, okay, what are the options available? What level of cricket are you looking for? If it is at that really high level, competitive, maybe elite athlete level, it's then how can we put you in touch with WA Cricket so that you can start talking about what your background is, where you are coming from, how they may be able to place you with a cricket club, which cricket club may actually suit the level of competition that you're looking for. So there's going to be a conversation there that kind of steps outside of my area of expertise. What I can certainly do and what the university can do is connect you with the right people to have those conversations and then allow you to move forward with your, I guess, with your desire to play cricket.
Is there any kind of documentation you would recommend that they have that showcases their cricket playing, like maybe a profile, a cricketer's resume? Like, what would you recommend that they have?
Yeah, I think all of those sorts of things are going to be useful. Obviously, if anyone has played representative cricket in the Caribbean, obviously evidence of that is going to be highly useful. Once again, that's going to, I guess, showcase to our WA cricket people the level that you have been playing at. I guess below where it's not representative cricket, that's where it gets a little bit trickier because WA cricket is very much focused on the cricket program here in Western Australia. The familiarity with the club cricket competition in the Caribbean may not be there, but so I guess the more information that we can have from students about their competitive cricket background, the better. So a profile, a resume, what and where they've been playing, the level of cricket that they've been playing at, and once again, we can do some research and we can talk through all of those things as it comes up. But I guess the more prepared students are to be able to talk about their cricketing background and what they've been doing, where that's come from, the better that's going to be. It's going to help both us at Murdoch University, but also our colleagues at WA Cricket get a better understanding of that cricket culture and the level of cricket that's being played so that we can appropriately place you.
So In the meantime, anyone who knows you play cricket, whether you play representative cricket, you're on a school team, a national team, or regionally you've played, or even outside of that, it's good to have that information documented in a secure single location. So maybe a Word document, maybe you might have videos, you put everything together so that person can assess you if you are interested. I have more of an academic question now. So I know you have engineering and Murdoch prides itself on being interdisciplinary. Can someone in the engineering program add another major to their engineering?
Yeah, that's a great question. Historically, it hasn't been something that has been explored uh, particularly well with our engineering degrees. It is something I'm looking into because I think the question's coming up more and more often. So, what we have seen historically is our engineering degree is a 4-year bachelor degree. I know at other universities here in Australia, engineering can be combined with a different degree. So that might be a business. For example, one of my university friends did a Bachelor of Engineering with a Bachelor of Business. So that would be, I guess, that would be kind of the approach that we're looking for with your question, Sheena, is if I'm reading that correctly?
Well, yeah, it could be business, or maybe some persons might do engineering with science.
Okay.
Um, so it depends. It's just a question like if you can mix and match with the engineering, because I know engineering is very applied and very specific, but just in case there's someone
Yeah, no,
interested.
I am, yes, as I said, I am investigating that. It is a really interesting question, and I haven't seen it, but that doesn't mean it can't be done. It's just no one's actually thought to ask the question.
Well, just to remind folks, Daniel will, I know that not all of you may be from Barbados in this chat, but for those who are in Barbados, Daniel will be in Barbados in person next week at the Lloyd Erskine Sandifer Center at 6 p.m. You will get some more information about Murdoch studying in Western Australia. And also you can talk about cricket. So bring any of your questions you can hear from the horse's mouth yourself. That session will be moderated by the Student Center as well. And if you're not in Barbados, you don't have to worry because one, you're having a webinar like this right now, but you can also visit Murdoch's dedicated page on the Student Center's Cut Fest school directory, and you can actually send messages and you can put your questions there. You can connect and you can also apply to Murdoch University via CutFest Apply. You have two options via the Student Center. There's the planning side. You want to work with individual college planner to assess all your university and college goals and needs and work with someone individually, or you can apply through the CutFest. There's a select list of schools of which Murdoch is a part of that list, and you can fill out the form, submit all your documentation. There's instructions there on what to do, and you can do that. There is no application fee. There's no school application fee, and you can apply to up to 2 schools. So if you choose 2 schools or 2 programs, up to you, your choice, but you can submit your documentation and the Caribbean Application Center will process your application for you. Now, Daniel, I know it's early in the morning and I've kept you here enough, and it's the end of the day here in the Caribbean, so we will keep this short because you are coming back. You're coming next week. So
Yep.
for those in Barbados, we hope to see you there. And again, if you're not in Barbados, keep checking our page for more events coming up, as well as when our Cut Fest fairs are coming around. Our next set of Cut Fest fairs will be coming up in October, and it will be in Barbados and another country. So stay tuned for more information and when Cut Fest is coming to you. Daniel, thanks for letting us borrow some of your time this morning
No
and for
problems
all
at all.
and on playing cricket. And this video will be available on our social media as well as our YouTube channel. If you want to rewatch it, go back to any of the information shared, you can definitely do so. So I want to wish everyone a good evening and a good morning, depending on where you are joining us. And look out for us again in this space soon. Thanks, everyone. Vote for me, Daniel.